ke depan harus memperhitungkan betul tentang sumber daya dan penggunaan sumber-sumber yang bisa diperbarui menjadi keharusan. Saya beri contoh misalnya ketika dulu kami di Jakarta, kita mulai dengan mengkonversi kendaraan-kendaraan umum menggunakan listrik. Jadi ada dua tahap. Satu mengkonversi publik dari kendaraan pribadi ke kendaraan umum dan kendaraan umumnya berbasis listrik. Sehingga dapat dua-duanya. Satu adalah tentang pengurangan emisinya, yang kedua adalah pengurangan.
Sure. Thank you, Yudit, Pak Bambang, Pak Ridwan Kamil, and all participants. It is indeed, the question is not about whether living in a cities or mega city is sustainable. The question is how to make living in the city sustainable. Because we know that the world cities occupy about 3% of the earth, but cities account 60 to 80% of energy consumption and 75% of carbon emissions. That's sort of the one side. But on the other side, cities are also economic engine of the world, and the majority of the population is now living in cities. So we must understand that a fight for climate must also be a fight for better livelihood. And the vast majority of people are still struggling with basic needs. That is what we are also experiencing. And, they come to cities hoping to find better opportunities. Those urbanizations will continue. And therefore, effort to tackle climate change must also be understood by the people as means to improve their livelihood. So we're glad that Jakarta, I'm happy to report here, is on the right track in fulfilling the climate target. 2 years ago, in 2020, Jakarta reduced its greenhouse gas emissions by 26%. And with that pace, we're optimistic that 30% reductions of emissions that is targeted in the year 2030 can be achieved much sooner than expected. Because imagine in 2020, we reached 26%. So we have 8 years to go and more 4% to reach. On the other hand, we are also succeeded in showing our economic resilience by rebound from its lowest economic growth, negative 2.4% when the pandemic hit us in 2020. And we're back to positive 5.6% in the second quarter of 2022. So if we had to share...
If each of you can summarize in one sentence or less, you have each describe such thoughtful responses to how to build sustainable cities. But here's my question. If you were leading a whole country, what is the one thing you would do to ensure it is resilient and sustainable? Maybe we can start with Panis.
Resilience and?
Sustainable, Pak.
We really have to make our cities more livable, and we have no choice. We don't want to move to Mars. We want to stay in our cities. And so we had no choice but to make our cities more livable. And doing so, we need the political will. The technology is there. The policy instrument is there. What is often absent is political will translated into fiscal and policy actions. That's what's needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak. Let's go to Pak Ridwan and Pak Bambang.
Yes, I think great life is a balanced life. All problems come from excessive lifestyle in the form of economy, excessive in the form of social lifestyle and many things. Yeah. So I think the goal of sustainable is basically balancing how we progress with economy, how we inclusive to social